Hello, YouTube. My name is Shaniqua Burris, and I'm Goddess Diamond, and this is my channel, Shaniqua's Walk with God. So, if you cannot see my face, my eyes, per se, because of the glare on my glasses, just excuse that. So, today the Lord has been putting in my spirit, all day long, is about storms, and this is for His children, His people who have been through a storm, who are currently going through a storm, and the one that will, if you haven't, went through a storm yet, prepare yourself because you will go through a storm. The Lord gave me Isaiah 43 verse 2 to read, and this is the NIV translation, and it reads, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze." Children of God, God's people, any storm that you go through, it could seem scary. In the midst of it, you can seem like you're not going to make it through. It could seem like you're by yourself, that God has left you. But if you go to God and you pray to Him and you ask Him to assist you through the storm, to be with you, and most importantly, to gain the lesson from the storm, the Lord will do that. Storms that we go through are not meant to tear us down and, cause us to die. Storms are for strengthening us spiritually, physically, and mentally, and emotionally. um, the Lord wants us to pick out the lesson in every storm that we go through, to be able to identify the lesson. Because if you do not, you will. And let me tell you, I can attest for this. When going through a storm, if you do not learn from it, pick out the lesson in it, you will go back through it again and again and again until you learn from it. Until what you're meant to, know about that storm, until you gain the meaning of why you have to go through that storm, you will keep going back through it over and over and over again. And it seems like each time that you have to go back through it, it will get harder and harder and harder. The Lord wants us to learn from our storms. He wants the storm to be able to, strengthen us, especially spiritually. He wants to be able to, he wants to be able for you to not go through that storm again, to be able to identify it next time that you're hit with it so you can avoid it. The Lord loves us. He doesn't want us hurt. He doesn't want us in pain. He doesn't enjoy, seeing us that way. But if we do have to go through a storm, and you will go through a storm in your life, it's meant to strengthen you. The Lord wants His children to be strengthened. He doesn't want, His children to be weak. In any way that He can strengthen you, He will strengthen you. Another thing is about storm, me myself, when I first started going through storms, or if I would hear anything about going through a storm, like I feared it. It made me scared. Now, if you ever have to go through a storm, or are going through a storm, like, be happy for it. Be happy for it. Because no matter how much pain that you're going through while in it, at the end of that storm, there is a blessing. Like, there is a blessing that's going to come from it. But the key point to gaining that blessing, you got to learn, you got to know why you had to go through that storm. You got to know why the Lord put you through that. Why the Lord had you to go through that storm. Because the Lord is not going to take it from you. He's not going to take it from you. He'll be right there holding your hand, walking with you through it. but he's not going to take you from it because you have to learn from it. Everybody has to go through their own storm. Everybody does. But the Lord, he will not leave you. He will be right there walking with you. And that's most importantly what he wants. He wants us just to learn the lesson, get the lesson out of, why we had to go through that storm. Get that lesson. Because that lesson, that is the blessing. Your lesson in the storm that you had to go through, if you can identify that, that is your blessing. And it's whatever, what kind of storm that you're going through. Everybody go through different storms. So whatever storm that you're going through, if you get that lesson, that is your blessing. But the Lord doesn't want us to be scared when we're faced with storms. He wants us to face our storms head on. He doesn't want us to be scared. He doesn't want us to be fearful because he doesn't give us the spirit of fear. He doesn't. And if you do feel that way, you go to Jesus, ask Jesus for his strength because we know we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And you will be able to get through it. God will get you through. You go to God and you pray to him and you ask him for his help, ask you to help you get through it and keep giving you strength. The Lord will do that. The Lord, he will do that. So this is just a little bit of what he wants me to communicate with you all, with his people, with his children about storms. I can vouch for everything that I said in this message because I have went through storms. I am going through one right now as we currently speak. And I know I will go through storms in the future. Storms are there. For me, I think about storms not in a bad way. I think about storm as giving me strength, learning from it, gaining knowledge from it, taking the lesson out of each storm that I need. So that's what I, think about when I hear storms or if I hear anyone, talking about a storm. But that's just a little bit that the Lord wanted me to communicate with you all. So I hope that I was influential to you guys. Once again, I am Shaniqua Burris. I want you all to be blessed and stay blessed. And until next video, bye-bye.